Welcome back to Transformers Cyberverse Season 3. In today's review, we're taking a look at the 12th episode in the season, The Alliance. Not the Horde, but The Alliance. Picking up from where we left off in the last episode, the Autobots and Decepticons are free, but the Quintessons have put up a shield around the scientist's lab where they are draining the Allspark, and the two factions must work together in order to defeat the Quintessons. Megatron refuses to help, which honestly surprised me. I thought for sure they'd shift the focus from Hot Rod and Soundwave leading the Alliance to Optimus and Megatron. But here it seems like they're still in command as they force teams of 4, 2 Autobots and 2 Decepticons, to fight together in training simulations against drones now in the shape of Quintesson prosecutors. At first they were reluctant, but then they get into it. I find the team pairings interesting. First we have Grimlock and Cup with Dirge and Strika. By the way, I know technically her name is Alpha Strike, but she's obviously supposed to be Strika, so I'm just going to keep calling her that. And it's even been confirmed that the only reason that they named her Alpha Strike was because Hasbro lost the trademark to the name Strika. Seriously, they couldn't just trademark her as Decepticon Strika, kind of like they did with Nemesis Strika back in Universe 1.0. But anyways, Grimlock and Cup is interesting because they obviously have a connection with them both being featured in the Transformers movie. Dirge and Strika took me a minute, but I think the reason that they teamed them up is because Dirge is a blue and yellow jet, kind of like Jetstorm from Beast Machines. So I guess he's supposed to be kind of like a stand-in Jetstorm, since they obviously aren't going to make a new Cyberverse Jetstorm model just for this scene. The next team is Lockdown, Shadow Striker, Bumblebee, and RC. This one took me a second. Obviously Shadow Striker and Bumblebee have a history together, as we learned in the episode, Shadow Striker, way back in Season 1. So that leaves Lockdown and RC, which instantly made me think back to Animated, how Lockdown was hunting RC. He captured her and Ratchet, and it was Ratchet's EMP generator that erased RC's memory, and Lockdown stole. Plus the fact that Lockdown and Shadow Striker are both kind of designed to be like Frankenstein's monster. Well, more so the original animated Lockdown was. Cyberverse Lockdown is much more uniform and symmetrical in design in this series. And I guess that leaves Bumblebee and RC as the two happy, fun-loving Autobots? Although there was that one continuity where Bumblebee and RC were a couple. Wait, now that I say that, I'm reminded of my Season 2 Episode 3 review of The Visitor, where I shipped B and RC together. Nah, probably just a coincidence. And the final team-up is Skywarp, Rack and Ruin, Jetfire, and Sky-Byte. Obviously, Jetfire and Sky-Byte are fierce rivals. Don't know about Skywarp and Rack and Ruin though, as we've never really seen them together before this. Although they are both Wreckers. Obviously Rack and Ruin has been associated with the Wreckers since day one. And Skywarp was a Wrecker in the old BotCon comics. Don't know if there's any other connections. Maybe that Skywarp and Jetfire sort of shared a mold once, which was, funnily enough, a Beast Machines Jetstorm mold. Although Jetfire wasn't called Jetfire, he was called Storm Jet, as opposed to Jetstorm. Oh wait, they actually shared a mold twice. There was the previous Leader class Jetfire, which was later remolded as Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. And I'm sure there's probably a Botshots or Creo figure that shares some of the same molding between the two characters. But yeah, some very interesting pairings and groupings, at least the ones that we see. I wonder what other pairings you could make. Maybe put Wheeljack and Ratchet with Ramjet and... oh wait, that's it. Literally every other main Decepticon in the show has either already been teamed up, has already done the training, are missing, or are dead. Well, moving on. Hot Rod says, "Sure hope you've got the touch," as Soundwave plays some music that is clearly not Sandbush's The Touch or anything close to it. Which is an absolute shame, because I really wish they had the budget in order to pay for the license for that song. I'd put it in the video right now, but I don't want to get my whole video claimed by Stan Bush. So instead, I'll post a link to a video on Twitter. Hot Rod and Soundwave try to have Windblade awaken Iaconus, but it causes her too much pain, and McAdam says that it's not the right time. Then the Alliance tries to drive a giant warhead towards the Quintesson Tower. We get some cool combos and team-ups between the Autobots and Decepticons. I especially like RC gushing over the BFG that she previously used in the episode Perfect Storm. But they are stopped by Gnaw and his Sharkticon forces. Obviously this is a different Gnaw than the one we learned about in Wipeout. Either he's another Sharkticon who's named after that Gnaw, or maybe he's a Gnaw from another universe. It's not really explained, but I'm honestly surprised that the Autobots and Decepticons had such trouble with these Sharkticons. For some reason I thought the Sharkticons would be kind of a pushover. Maybe I'm just thinking of that fight I had with them in Transformers Tatakai. You can check out my playthrough of that rare Japanese PS2 exclusive game right here on this channel. Wow, is that 2 shameless self-promotions in one video? You bet it is. But yeah, these are some tough fish spots. And when Gnaw detonates the warhead, it looks like the Alliance has been defeated. That is until Windblade goes back and tries to activate Iaconus again. But he only gets a hand up before McAdam jumps in and saves Windblade from destroying herself. Thank you, McAdam. I was not ready to lose Windblade. We already lost Cheetor earlier. And now that I think about it, I guess we lost Prowl too, because I haven't seen him at all in the last several episodes. So yeah, thanks again, McAdam. Hopefully we don't lose her in the next episode, where I suspect she'll try again. But we'll have to save that for next time, because that's the end of the episode and the end of this review. Another amazing episode of Transformers Cyberverse. Again, I wish they could have had some Stan Bush the Touch in this episode if Hot Rod was going to reference it. But c'est la vie. The budget of an 11-minute cartoon episode probably doesn't have the money in it for a licensed song like that. This makes me really wish that Hasbro straight up owned all the music and stuff in all their series. Imagine if they couldn't use the Star Wars theme in a Star Wars cartoon. Or if a Mario game couldn't use the original Mario Brothers theme. That's kind of where we are with Transformers. The Touch is one of the most iconic songs in Transformers, and it's barely ever used. It's in the original 1986 movie. At the end of the episode, The Return of Optimus Prime. You got the power! The light of our darkest hour. At the end of the Fallout Cybertron game. And finally, in the Bumblebee movie. You got the power! But enough about that. Time to end this review so we can move on to the next episode. Don't forget to let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments down below. And remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here soon for the next episode. The Judge.
One more time.
Come on, we'll be quick.